Welcome. Welcome to part 5 of the sales training series. I am Nikki Rausch. Today we're going to be talking about how to make getting to yes easy in the selling process. So quick little bio about me. My company is Sales Maven. I have been in sales for 25 years, and I also am Master Certified Practitioner of Neuro-Linguistic Programming. And entrepreneurs and businesses hire me to learn how to sell in an authentic way without being pushy or aggressive. So you're able to build strong connections, deep, lasting rapport, and ultimately close more deals. I am very excited to share this content with you today. If you are wondering what happened to part 1, 2, 3, and 4, you can catch those on YouTube. You can also register to download the worksheets that support all of the training and has scripts for you for the language that I'm going to give you in each part by going to yoursalesmaven.com/free. So it's yoursalesmaven, MAVEN.com/free, and you can download all the worksheets. This is the worksheet that we're going to be working with today. So you'll know you've got the right one if you've got this little certified expert piece right here. I'll start off briefly and remind you that this is based on my framework for sales, which is the selling staircase. Often sales is taught about a funnel. I teach relationship selling skills, and when you are in a one-on-one conversation with a prospect, with a business, you are now on the selling staircase, and learning how to move through the steps seamlessly and easily for your client is how you actually get to the point where you exchange dollars for services. So we're going to be talking about the proposal piece today, that step in the process, which is step 4 in the process, to make it really easy for your client to make a decision. So you've already done the discovery piece, and now it's time for you to lay out your offers. Now, before, and this is from the worksheet, before launching into your offer or your proposal, it is crucial to get permission again. Because if you go into like, I've done the discovery and now I'm going to tell them, here's how you should hire me, or here's how we should work together, or here's what you should buy, that can come across a little pushy or aggressive sometimes for people. So there's no point in laying out an offer or a proposal if the client isn't interested. So check to be sure and ask permission. So I have some suggestions here for you. The language here is based on everything you've shared so far. I do see a few key ways that we might work together. Are you interested in learning more about that? And then you wait and you see what the client says. If they say, no, thanks, I'm not interested, it doesn't make sense for you to try to sell them at that point. Now you'll come across salesy or pushy or aggressive. And when they are ready, they're probably not going to come back to you. So be sure that you check to get permission before you launch into your offer or your proposal. Really important key point here. Once you get to this place, like they've given you permission, and I do want to actually share with you, when I do a discovery process with a client, often I go through something that I call my selling strength assessment. This is my complimentary free way for somebody to get on a phone with me. And I talked about this in part 4. It's very structured. So I'm taking notes during that whole session, that whole selling strength assessment. And I'm making little notes to myself. I usually write in the bottom kind of corner, in the bottom right-hand corner of the page, I'm writing keywords of things that I know I can help or support this person on. And then when I get to this point of getting ready to lay out a proposal, I can look and see how many things I wrote down. And I might say to the person, I already see 5 key areas of things that we could work on together. Are you interested in finding out ways that we might work on those things? And I wait to see and get a yes. And if I get a yes, now I can talk about working together. Now, sometimes people say, what are those 5 things, Nikki? And this is really important that you're ready when you do this. If you use the same strategy that I use, that you're able to tell them the what. You do not tell them the how. Okay? They pay for the how. My clients pay me for the how. I don't give the how away for free unless I'm doing something like this with you guys today, which is this free sales series. But in a selling strength assessment, I'm not giving them the how, I'm giving them the what. So never be afraid to give people the what. You don't need to like play your cards close to your vest there. You can go ahead and tell them that, but the how is the things that they pay you for. And you might be worried. Sometimes people say, well, if I give them the what, then they can go and do the how on their own. Well, if that's the case, good for them. And if they could really do the how on their own, they'd already be doing it. They wouldn't need you anyway, and they wouldn't value what you offer. So don't be afraid of giving the what. Save the how for after they've paid you money. Okay? So now we're ready to lay out the proposal. Here's a couple key things I want you to think about, and these are fill in the blanks on the worksheet. You're going to give up to 3 options of ways to work together. Only 3, not more than 3. If you're thinking right now, but I only have 1, that's okay. And if you're thinking, but I have 20 ways people can work with me. Remember, you are the expert. So this is the second fill in the blank there in the middle of the page. Remember, you're the expert, and it's your job to make recommendations based on what fits the prospect's needs or wants. And I want to clarify this here, that even if you have 10, 20, 30 ways somebody can work with you, you should be able to pare it down based on what you've done in the discovery session with them that best meets their needs. And I want to make a really important point here. It is not based on what they can afford. It's based on their needs, their problem, their want, their struggle. It is not your job to determine what a client can afford. When you go into a proposal and you are making judgments about what somebody can afford, you are essentially projecting your limiting belief onto a client that can really hinder the relationship. You're also hallucinating, like as if you know what's in their bank account or you know what their budget is. Now, if they've told you that information, that may help you narrow down your 3 options. But if you don't know that going in, if you haven't gotten to that part in the conversation, and maybe it's irrelevant because it's based on what they need. So you're going to recommend what they need. Now, if you don't have anything that fits in their budget, they're probably not a prospect. They're probably not a client for you. I had a woman one time want to do private coaching with me, and her response was, what she was talking about, she's getting paid $3,000 an hour. That's what she told me. But she's struggling to sell her hourly trainings, not surprisingly, because $3,000 an hour is a pretty big chunk of change for the clients that she was working with. And so I had explained to her that the best solution is for us to work one-on-one, because then I could really tailor all of my answers for her specific application. Now, she was welcome to go through my training courses, and the best solution for her, my recommendation for her, was for us to work privately. And she said, Nikki, I have $100. What can I get for that? And so I said, for $100, you could buy both of my books. They're available on Amazon. And I wasn't being flippant. I'm being real. I don't work with clients privately for $100. So I want you to stand in your place of authority and expertise and be proud of your pricing. You don't have to discount based on somebody's what they can afford. If they can't afford you, they're not a client. That's okay. They may actually figure out a way to afford you at some point. And I do a lot of work with my private clients one-on-one on what do you do when people have objections around price, okay? So here's the next fill in the blank there on the page. Number 3 is start with the most expensive of your 3 options and then work your way down. This is crucial. This is known as top-down selling. And it's really important that you do this because we as humans don't like to have things taken away. So you have to start at the top, the most expensive, and then work your way down. And as you work your way down in your explanation to them, you're talking about what they don't get in this next package down, what they're going to give up in order to have a lower price. Now, if you start at the least expensive option and try to work your way up, people will often act as if you're trying to, oh, she's trying to upsell me. She's trying to get more money out of me. And it's a completely different mind shift when you do that. And just so you know, I play with this all the time. I always walk my talk and I practice the techniques. I've been doing them for 25 years. I practice these techniques continuously with clients or prospects in discovery sessions, in selling strength assessments, in one-on-one conversations with people. If I start at the least expensive option, chances are they're going to pick that. If I start at the most expensive that fits their needs, so I want to keep qualifying this, you might have a $20,000 package, but if their need fits more in a $5,000 package, I wouldn't recommend the $20,000 package to them, because now you're selling them something they don't need and you're out of integrity. So you start at the most expensive. So if it's the $5,000 and then you work your way down, people are much more likely to pick the most expensive. Here's a little thing that I want to share with you. If you're sitting right now someplace and watching this, hopefully you are, not driving, not doing anything that you need your hands available, but if you can hold your hands out in front of you and just let your hands relax and just have your palms facing up, and notice that your fingers tend to curl in just a little bit. Like if your hand is totally relaxed, chances are your fingers curl just a little bit in. We come out of the womb already knowing how to grasp things. We love to make attachments to things. We like to claim things. This is why you start at the most expensive option first and work your way down, because people don't want you to take things away. They want to hold on to it. All right. This is really important for you in the selling process. And it's also important for the client because they get the best solution for their need. All right. Now, once you have laid out your 3 options for them, now you're going to use your closing language. This is crucial. I have this for you here on the handout. It says, so you're going to say to somebody, so after reviewing these options, which feels like the best fit for you right now? And then you wait. You zip it. You push your lips together and you do not speak until they respond. If you speak before they respond, once you've laid out the options and you've used your closing language, you are now selling past the close, and you might confuse the client and talk them out of working with you. So zip it, wait, be willing to let them take whatever time they need to process and then make some decisions. So in this language of after reviewing these options, which feels like the best fit for you right now, there is an embedded command in that language. So it's very strategic and purposeful because I'm saying to them in a really nice way, make a decision. Most of us have decision fatigue. I was talking to a client about this yesterday. Decision fatigue. We want people to help us make decisions. We want people to make it easy for us to make decisions because we are bombarded with decisions all day long. So when you say to your client or prospect, so after reviewing these options, which feels like the best fit for you right now, you're making it easy for them to take some time, think about it, and give you a response. This is crucial to your success. So I hope you found this valuable. I am happy to answer some questions if you want to put in the chat box. I'd love to see what questions come to mind for you so far, or your feedback, or tell me what was your key takeaway from what we talked about today. Now, if you're wondering about objections, I want you to know that part 6 is coming soon, and it may be out already when you're watching this on the replay. So look for part 6, where we're going to talk about overcoming the objection of, I want to think about it. This is the most common objection that you'll get in the selling process, and you need to understand what to do to move the client to the next step in a really authentic, kind way. So come back for part 6, check that out. There will be a worksheet to go with it. And again, you can register to get those at yoursalesmaven.com/free. If you are wanting some more help with any of the things that I talked about today, if you're feeling like, oh, I really know that I need more, or I'm not quite sure how to lay out my options in a really clear way for a client, that's something that we can work together on a strategy session. So know that that's available for you to book. That is a paid session. You can visit my website, yoursalesmaven.com, click on services, and at the very top, you'll see strategy session, and you can book a strategy session with me. It's been fun to work with those of you who have already booked your strategy sessions just in the first few parts of this sales training. All right, so now I want to see what questions and comments you guys have so far. So let's check these out. Elia says, would I list my packages on my website in the same way, top to bottom? Elia, thank you so much for asking this question. Yes, 100% yes. You want to list your most expensive options first and then work your way down because, again, people don't like to have things taken away. Most people do this in the reverse because you're showing up from this place a lot of times of like, people need to, test the waters. They need to dip their toe in the water. Like, why would they buy this more expensive package or whatever it is? And actually, I just had this with a client. One of my favorite VIP clients, when we did her VIP day, she was convinced that clients would always start with her least expensive package first before moving to a more expensive package. Well, now when she does that, she's in the position of always having to upsell them. The other thing is that not everybody needed the least expensive package. As a matter of fact, most of them needed to start with a bigger package. And in our VIP day, I actually suggested, she sells hours of services. So I'm not going to go into details specifically about what she does, but she sells hours of services. So people buy packages of hours from her. And she had them in increments of 5, 10, and 20. And so in her VIP day, I said, I'm really curious, what's going on? Like, why is there not a 40-hour package? And she was like, well, 40, you look like deer in a headlight. Her eyes got really big. And she's like, I don't think anybody needs a 40-hour package. I'm like, how do you know that? Have you ever tested the waters? So we worked through what it would look like for her to list out her packages and add a 40-hour package to her offer. And it took her a few months to do it. Like, she just had this conversation with me recently. She's like, I was super uncomfortable with this suggestion, Nikki, but I did actually implement. So she implemented this idea. She has now since booked $300,000 in new business in 2019 by recommending the right package for the right person, and she started selling 40-hour packages. She's shocked by it, and yet it's made a huge difference to her bottom line. Imagine what it would be like for you to sell something that's a $300,000 more to your bottom line. Wouldn't that be awesome? Like, I want that this year too. That's amazing. All right, so yes, Elliot, that's the answer to your question. Okay, Patricia says, key takeaway, lay out your 3 options starting with most expensive. Yes, thank you, Patricia. I'm so glad you like that one. Sandra, hi. She says, hi, Nikki, great stuff. For some reason, I don't think I received the worksheet. Thanks for all you do. You are so welcome, and the worksheet is available to you. You should have actually gotten an email from me yesterday, so check your email that has the link that will send you right to where all of the videos are housed, as well as all of the worksheets. Sandra, if you can't find that, will you just shoot me a quick email to Nikki@yoursalesmaven.com, and I will send you to the page. I'll send you to the page where you can just download the worksheet. It's right there for you. Hi, Paula. Paula says, it sounds like I need to make 2 sales. One working with my services, and 2 the actual custom trip, which I do 2 to 3 from top down. Okay. It sounds like I need to make 2 sales. Working with my services. Do you mean like 2 sales pages, Paula? I might be misunderstanding what you're saying. If that's the case, yes, you probably do need to have 2 different sales pages. If you are talking about that you charge just to work with you, and then the trip is on top of that, I want to dig into that a little bit with you, Paula. So will you, Paula, I know Paula's in my membership group. So Paula, would you put in our private group some explanation around this? And I will happily give you some suggestions on maybe some things that we could tweak and make it easier for you in the selling process. Hi, Laura. Thank you so much. She says, another great training session. Appreciate you so much. Thank you. Hey, if you haven't already subscribed to the YouTube channel, to my YouTube channel, Sales Maven, would you please do that at the end of this training? Please subscribe. That way, as I post new content, you'll receive access to it. And there are a ton of videos and with little tips available to you. So if you haven't looked through what's available to you in the YouTube channel, take a moment and do that. Somebody was telling me this week that she spent all of last Saturday. She makes custom jewelry, amazing, beautiful custom jewelry. And she said, I spent all of Saturday making jewelry and just watching and listening to your sales tips. So there's a ton of content there for you. So please check it out. It's free. It's for you. I want you to take advantage of it and use this and implement it into your business so that you can see results. And again, for those of you who you need more, you want a little bit more, my recommendation is to start with a strategy session with me. Or if you just want to talk about other ways we can work together, reach out to me and let's jump on a quick call and talk about ways that we might work together. So ways that I work with clients just really quickly is I do private one-on-one coaching. I do strategy sessions. I do a membership group that includes a masterclass once a quarter. That's a live in-person event. We have one coming up very soon. I know a few of you on this training with us this morning are already scheduled to come to that. That's on December 13th. Very excited to have you in the room. It is a fun, live, very sales-focused training that I do once a quarter, different topic every quarter. And then I also just have the membership site where you can have access to me in our private group and ask questions and have access to content. So there's a lot of really fun ways to work with Sales Maven in addition to all of the free content that's available for you. So, all right, excited about the master training. I'm super excited to have you. I can't wait. I actually am working on the manual right now. Good stuff coming. I'm updating from last year and lots of fun stuff coming. So we have 2 spots left in the masterclass. If you are interested in finding out details for that, you can actually go onto the services page of my website, check out Sticky Selling Mastery, click down, you'll see in a drop-down menu about the masterclass, or you can reach out to me directly. I'm happy to hear from you. All right, any last question or comment about the content from today? Elia, I can't wait to have you in the group. I can't wait for the group to meet you and for you to meet them. It's an amazing group of women. So looking forward to seeing you. All right, then I am going to sign off and wish you all well, an amazing rest of your week. It's almost the end of the month, depending on when you're watching this. So go out, make those sales, make it easy for your clients to say yes, and they will. All right, thank you.